Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Adam for those of you who are newer to the channel, and I got into this alternative research in around 2022 when I heard about John Levy on the Joe Rogan podcast. I have always been fascinated with the mysteries and questions of what came before, and I even studied about the history of Latin America in college, including a study abroad in Mexico. Recently, I had a major change in my job situation, and so I've decided to start working on some of my passions. So here we are. One thing I talked about in my previous video on Spanish missions is the presence of these European-style structures in many depictions of Cortez meeting Montezuma for the first time. According to the standard narrative of history, these structures were built after the fact by the Spanish colonizers. However, these early 1700s depictions tell a seemingly different story. Today we'll be looking at some of what are known as Mayan ruins, and a look as well at what's said to be Spanish architecture. Apparently many of these Mayan ruins were already in ruin by the time the Spaniards arrived. This line of inquiry includes the possibility that the so-called colonial architecture was pre-existing and possibly even in use by the indigenous population. If this is too big a stretch for you, I totally get it. I still hope you can enjoy the video as a form of fantasy or even art. Here's an example of the state of many of the Mayan ruins that you'll see from late 1800s photographs. You'll also get many of these intricate stone carvings from that civilization as well. This is a ruin from a place called Quirigua in Guatemala, known for its intricate carvings. We talk a lot about the wonders of places like Egypt, but look at these carvings. They seem to be made from single stones, and they are quite massive in many cases. Now, speaking of Egypt, this is what's known as El Mirador, and it is about a 5-day journey off the beaten path to visit this complex. The largest pyramid there, La Danta, is said to be even larger than all of the pyramids of Giza. Here's a look at the full complex, and it is very overgrown, as you can see. This is a Mayan site called Chichen Itza, and this is what's known as the Temple of Kukulkan. You can also see an early depiction of it while it was entirely in ruins. And a look at the famous city of Tikal. It is a massive temple complex and ancient city that is frequently visited. Looking at some of what is called Spanish architecture, you get many structures that rival much of what we see in Europe. And the cities are entirely built out. It's not just one city or one country. It's all of Latin America that's covered in this type of exquisite architecture. In many cases, we're told these are repurposed materials from older pyramids and temples, and we are also given the narrative that native peoples were enslaved to build these glorious structures. Now, I'm not saying there is not any truth to this narrative, but it does seem a little bit unlikely that an unskilled workforce would be able to put together such magnificent European-style structures. Now, I'm not saying I know. I just think it's important to ask questions, especially when what we see doesn't always match up to what we're told about it. Anyway, that was the video for today. I hope you liked it, and have an awesome day.